Yo, what is up, Smite fans? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have for you a jungle tier list for Open Beta 40. We're going to go through all the gods and rank them based on how I feel about their power level in the meta. This is mostly a ranked tier list. I haven't played a ton of comp, and, you know, I'm not the smartest player in the world, so this is just based on my 10 million hours of ranked. We'll check the profile. We've played a lot of matches on this patch already. So I think, when did this patch come live? It was the 24th or something? Or no. It was this week, though. We played a lot of matches on it. And I think I have a solid feel. They nerfed tanks in this patch. They buffed jungle a little bit, so some things have moved around a bit. Let's just start by defining our tiers. S+ is going to be your must-ban gods. These are the gods that I would ban every single game. S is going to be the tier of gods I think are, you know, on the power level of maybe being ban-worthy, but they're probably going to get through the cracks and be picked. These are pretty much the gods that are going to get picked every game, for the most part. A tier will be your balanced gods, or, you know, good in the meta, not necessarily OP, but good, solid picks. B is situational, or, you know, there's just situational or outclassed. That's how we're going to define B. And then C tier will be your trash gods. I'm only going to rank the gods. I'm not going to rank their aspect, but if their aspect is relevant, I'll talk about it a little bit. Which, starting off with Achilles, I'm going to rank him in A tier. I think he's very solid as a bruiser. If you build like Daybreak Gavel, Shifter Shield, and you want to be an additional frontline for your team, Achilles brings a lot to the table in that regard. He's got a stun and execute. He's always been pretty good in the jungle. I wouldn't go full damage on him right now, and I definitely wouldn't go aspect. I think the aspect is bait. So that's where Achilles stands. I mean, do I want to rank like all the gods? I guess I'm just going to put anything that's not legit in like C tier. So Agni, I actually do think can jungle. We'll put him in B. He's kind of for fun, but he's got a range stun, pretty good clear, pretty good gank. I would go base kit on Agni, not aspect. Opwash, obviously not a jungler. We'll put him in C. Aladdin, this god's still a ban for ranked. If your whole team knows how to play around him and you put it behind early game, then you can kind of get away with letting it through. But other than that, I think this god is still just a demon in the queues. He gets to late game and one-taps everybody. You see it banned pretty much every game. Pretty OP god. You overly hate Achilles aspect for no reason? I just think it's worse than base Achilles. By the way, YouTube, this is the first time I've ever doing one of these tier lists live on Twitch, so we're going to be taking comments from the chat and having a bit of a dialogue here if they disagree with my opinions and my rankings. But moving on, we got Amaterasu. This god's pretty bad in jungle. It's definitely not C tier. Like, it's not Opwash level. We'll put it in, like, situational for fun. It's more of a for fun pick than it is situation. There's no situation where you want to be Ama jungle. But she does bring objective shred to the table. Her ult is unpeelable, and her damage is quite good. So you can make it work on her. I haven't played this god in jungle in a while, but he actually has a very solid jungle kit. You have a really insane 1v1. Good CC, good clear, good gank, and you bring an extra hunter to your team comp. So you're not really looking to dive the backline as on her. I mean, you can situationally, but ideally you're just positioning next to your carries and trying to shred their front line with your team. Anubis, gonna say probably B tier for jungle, because any serious jungler is just gonna run you down. I think I like him in this ranking. He's for fun. You definitely can play it. Anubis can jungle. He's got great clear. Once you get a couple points in your abilities and an item, he's got great clear. Early game, it can kind of suck, just because you're not a strength character and your autos do no damage. Aphrodite, she's not a jungler, C tier. Apollo, I actually think Apollo jungle is S tier right now. Apollo in ADC or jungle is very strong. But as a jungler, like, you know, you've got good self-peel, pretty solid gank, you got the global ult, and just like on her, you bring an extra hunter to the team comp, which is always useful. Ares, he's not a jungler, but he can. His 3, I'm debating between C or B. I think I'm going to place him in C tier because nobody's ever going to pick Ares jungle. But he actually can. He's a little bit better than these other two gods of the role because he has very good clear and decent gank. He's borderline B, but I don't want to put him on the same power level as these gods because I don't think that he is. Artemis, she can jungle, but she's for fun. We're going to put it in B tier. Situational, you know, I think the situation for me, I usually like Artemis jungle when my team bans a Wheelix. But if with the aspect, she's got great clear, you know. Not the best pick in the world, but I think it's very playable. Her 3 is only an 8-second cooldown, so you've got pretty good clear. As long as the enemy jungler's not sprinting you down on some OP early game assassin, it's very playable. Ardio, not a jungler. C tier. Actually, her aspect, bear form, kind of can jungle, so maybe it should go in B, like for fun, situational. These aren't situational. None of these are situational. Okay, so maybe we need to redefine our tier. Because it was going to be like, what did I say at the start? Situational or outclassed? I guess all of these are outclassed, so it kind of fits. But you can play Ardio Aspect jungle for fun. It works. It definitely can jungle. Athena. Actually, this god's A tier. This god's A tier. I wouldn't go Aspect. Personally, I don't think she's an Aspect. I don't think you want her Aspect because you take away the team barrier. She's much more useful to a team comp with the barrier. But her taunt is very strong. Ability, she's got pretty good clear. And you can be everywhere. You know, you don't need to really even show up to gank. You can be farming wherever you want and just ult to the fight. Athena's great, especially if you've got a mid laner like Ra or Cuckoo. There's an aspect tab of gods. Wait, what do you mean? I've never used Smite Source for a tier list, so I'm not sure what you're talking about. An aspect tab? I probably would use art aspect in the jungle. Wait, okay, yeah, obviously I don't want him picking normal RDO jungle, so if we could help that. Oh, here we go. Aspects. Goodness gravy. Well, I can't go through all of this. You know what? We're doing it as we said. Figure it out. Figure it out. All right, Atlas, not a jungler. C tier. A Wheelix. A Wheelix. I think she's pretty good. I wouldn't put her in the same power. I guess, okay, she probably ranks in A tier. She's pretty good. I would almost say situational because obviously Wheelix slots best into a comp where you have knockups or the enemy team has leaps. She's very counterable, but I think she's above the power level of these gods, so we're going to put her in A tier. Bacchus. Bacchus aspect jungle is A tier. You've got insane clear, really good gank potential. You can play for rocks because your one is cleave autos. Yeah, if you guys are watching this video, yeah, we're not ranking the aspects, so just, you know, hopefully they'll listen to what I said about the pick. Don't play base RDO jungle. Base Artemis is fine. But yeah, this one you definitely want the aspect. Bacchus, you could probably do it without the aspect, but you definitely want that one. Baron Samdi, not a jungler, C tier. Bastet, I still think she's pretty broken. She did get nerfed and hasn't seen as much play, but she's just so easy that I think it's ban-worthy. I don't know if the nerf did enough to her damage numbies. She still presses 4, presses 2, no skill required, deletes 2 people. I see it banned a lot, so we're gonna put it in S+. You think Bastet is dead? Bastet's 100% bannable? Chat disagrees. Let me know what you think in the comments. Bellona, this god is situational. She can jungle if you're into like a super auto tech heavy comp. Let's say the enemy jungler picks an auto techer. Maybe they're playing a hunter. I think you can play Bellona. There's probably better options, but she's definitely not bad by any means. She's got great clear, pretty good gank. She's a solid jungler. Cabrakan. I don't think he's much of a jungler. His clear is kind of terrible. I don't know if I'd rank him any worse than Ardio Aspect, though. Because I think he can jungle. I almost want another tier now. Maybe I should have made another tier. It's too late. We're going to stick with what we got. We'll update this in the future. I think Cab can jungle, but not very well. With the Aspect, you do a lot of damage, but I'd honestly prefer him non-Aspect in the jungle. I think the CC is more valuable. You just build him like a bruiser. Afro C tier. So if you're just tuning in, this is a jungle tier list. This is not a normative. Frankly, I should probably just not even rank the gods that aren't junglers, but then they're just going to pile up in the list and I'm going to get confused. So we're just going to put them all down here. Cerberus, not a jungler, C tier. Kernanos, I personally prefer him without aspect. I think he's like A tier. Like I mentioned, not on her, sorry. Hunter junglers are pretty strong in this economy. They just added 3 new Hunter items, and Kernanos, you can play him with aspect if you know the method. I prefer him with the ranged autos, but he's a good jungler either way. I put him in A tier. Chalk, see, okay, this is where we're getting into the borderline C tier, but can actually make it work. Because all of these gods in C tier pretty much don't jungle except for Ares. You're never really going to see that one, but he kind of can. Maybe we should bump him up just for Peter's sake. I think I'm going to put Ares up here just because he fits there. And Chalk as well. Man, we kind of do need I think we need an A+ tier. That's what fixes this tier list. A+. Let's give it a random color. That one works. Okay, A plus gods. We're adapting this. A plus are the super strong. You know, you kind of want to put. Here's how we're gonna do this. Let me move these up, and I will amend my tiers. So for junglers, I think Achilles is up there. Honestly, I think the rest of these are in a fine position. However, oh man, I'm overcomplicating this. Okay, S plus is your bans. S is your very strong picks. A plus is your strong picks. A picks are fine. B is situational or outclassed. C is bad or for fun. So you know what? We're gonna bump all these. Chalk Aries down. Ardio down. Oh, I actually think she's a little better than these guys. Cab down. I think this works better. You need a whole day to edit this video? I'm not editing it. This is going up raw. Figure it out. It's gonna be like an hour-long video. We should probably get moving. Otherwise, it's gonna, like I said, we don't want it to go too long. Charon, not a jungler, C tier. Chiron, I would say you can play at jungle. It's for fun. It's B tier. Kronos, definitely can jungle. Pretty strong god in the meta. You gotta get to late game. We'll put him in B tier. Chulainn. This god has a very low win rate, but when I played at jungle, it actually felt good. I think it can jungle. We're gonna go B tier. Cupid, I think also can jungle. He's got pretty solid clear. It's he's not A tier though. Let's see. We put Artemis in B, and I think Cupid resides pretty comfortably there. Last time I played Cupid jungle, I got rinsed, but Nick swears by it. He insists in certain matchups it's OP. I don't know. You guys have to tell me how you fare with Cupid jungle. Dodgy, I think this god's still ban worthy, honestly. If not just for the fact that late game, she's Satan for backliners. You know, her early game's pretty weak and she's punishable. She's more manageable than she was before. You can fight it on certain picks. I don't think she's super omega giga broken, but definitely worth banning in my opinion. Dodgy's worth banning. Gonzaboro is a pretty good jungler. I haven't played it in a while. I wish that I had, because I could rank it a little bit better. I haven't played him pretty much since they nerfed double stacks. I'm going to say he's at least A tier, though. No way he's weaker than any of these gods. Disco, not really a jungler. Put her in C tier. However, with the aspect, you might be able to make it work. Eset jungle works better than all of these gods, so I think I'm going to put it in the B tier. Because she's got good clear, good CC for a gank. And you bring objective secure, which is very valuable. Not a lot of junglers bring objective shred or objective secure, so that can be nice in the right comp. Fenrir, this god's pretty bad, but I think he fits well in B tier with the power level of these guys. We only have one A plus guy at the moment. We're gonna maybe adjust some things later, but I think looking at this list, as we get further down the list, A plus will make more sense as a tier. Weirdly, Achilles, like, I don't see a lot in jungle, but I do think he's very strong there, personally. From the Achilles I have seen play it with a bruiser build, he's obnoxious to deal with. You think Donza and a Wheelix A+? I wouldn't put a Wheelix A+. The other gods that I'm going to put up there will make more sense when we've finished out the tier list. Apollo right now is our only S jungler, but we're going to get more of those as well. Ganesh, with aspect that can jungle, but it's for fun, we'll put it in B. Geb is not a jungler. Like, you can make it work, but he's going to go in C. He doesn't jungle as well as these guys. And matter of fact, Ganesh really doesn't either. So we'll drop it down. A lot of adjustments being made. Pay attention. Gilgamesh, I played it the other day and it felt fine. He's not strong, but he's not super, he's like better than Fenrir. So we'll put him in B tier. Maybe even A, I just haven't seen enough of it. I've only seen a little bit of Gilgamesh jungle. I think with the Golden Blade tank build, he's pretty good. Guan can jungle. You don't see it a ton, but his ult is unpeelable, and healing is very strong. So I think if you're a Guan enjoyer, he can jungle for sure. Somebody asked me to do a Guan jungle video. That's coming out soon, so stay tuned. Hades, jungle, not good. C tier. Akate, same thing. Not a jungler. C tier. Hercules. Don't see a ton of him in the jungle these days. He definitely still can. He's got good CC, really high damage ultimate. He's hard to fight in the early game. I honestly think he's A tier. I wouldn't put him B. He's stronger than a lot of these gods, in my opinion. Like, if I put Hercules in the same tier as Artemis jungle, I think I'm a silly goose. So, We're going to put him in A. Horus, jungle. With aspect, I think he's pretty weak. But without aspect, he's actually a very nice jungler. Because you bring a lot of CC to your team comp. You just play for your mid laner. Yo, what's up, Way Too Tiny? He said, I need more Shigatero fail montages. I'm working on it. I just need more Shigatero fails. I'm glad you enjoyed that, though. Those are some of my favorite videos to make. The fail compilations. We've got a LemTM fail compilation coming up, so stay tuned for that as well. Yeah, I've not been ranking the aspects. We might do a more formal, proper tier list with all of the aspects and everything in the future. I kind of just am winging it. People have been asking me for a tier list for a while, so. But yeah, I wouldn't go Donza aspect in the jungle. I think Donza is better base kit, for sure. Where were we? Horus? I think his aspect is underwhelming. I'm not sure if they fixed the fact that Hydra's wasn't proccing on his 2. I believe it wasn't proccing. No, it wasn't proccing on the wing autos, maybe. Hydra's wasn't working on something on Horus aspect. If they fix that, he's probably much better with that. But I still think he's better base kit. Definitely a solid jungler. You bring a lot to the table. Good CC. Not great clear, but an amazing gank potential. And amazing team fight as well. Hu Yi. I actually would put Hu Yi. You don't see a ton of Hu Yi jungles anymore, but when I play it, it feels good. I don't think he's quite Apollo level, but I'm going to put him in A+. Hu Yi has a very strong 1v1 in the jungle. Range stun. AoE area denial that has a wall now for some reason. He's got great tank shred as well, which is important in this meta. So I think Hu Yi as a jungler, borderline S tier. I just don't see it a ton. So that's why I'm not going to bump it up there. Mulan jungle is good early game, but falls off a cliff late game. I think it's B tier. We'll drop her down there. Hunbats. I think Hunbats is S tier for sure. He's not really ban worthy in my opinion, because you kind of have to play for your team, and in ranked, people aren't always very coordinated. But Hunbats aspect is still very disgusting. An unmissable stun on a character that he even does enough damage. Like, you don't lose enough damage for the aspect to be not worth it. That's why I think he's still pretty broken. Obviously, the alt, Fear No Evil, going to be one of the strongest jungle teamfight alts of all time. Always will be. So, he's pretty solid in this meta. Definitely think he's worthy of S tier. Ishtar jungle. This is another pick you don't see a ton of recently, but I still think it's quite good. With aspect is probably a little bit better than base kit in the jungle, just because your clear is so good. So yeah, I'm going to say aspect Ishtar is probably like A tier. I probably wouldn't play her base kit in the jungle though. Izanami. She can jungle, but she's not good. I'm going to put it in B tier. Because she has really, really good clear. If you're just going to power farm, especially depending on like the elo bracket that you're in, you can just power farm and split push and win your game, but it's not a traditional jungle playstyle. Janice, not really a jungler. You can make it work, but I think he fits well in C tier. Jingwei, other people are monsters of the Jingwei jungle. I'm not. If I have Iza in B tier though, Jingwei jungle also has to fit in B tier. She might be better than that, to be honest. Because I see people play this with some success. You just farm all game until you get 4 items and you show up to teamfights as a Jingwei. It works for their playstyle. I don't really like it. I don't think she has very good gank potential, so I am going to place it in B for my opinion. Jormungandr, not a jungler, C tier. Kali. This god is still ban-worthy in my opinion. She's eaten a ton of nerfs, but like in ranked, people don't save their CC. They don't prioritize the right targets. And Kali's immortality ability just lets her get away with some illegal crimes in the backline. You can solo dive on this god and win the game for your team by making plays late game. So I think she's very strong still. Probably ban-worthy in my opinion. Khepri, not a jungle, C tier. Cuckoo. Cuckoo aspect is still very playable. I'm going to say it's probably like A tier-ish, give or take. Also, looking at this now, we might reevaluate some of these picks at the end, but stay tuned for that. I think Cuckoo aspect fits well. Maybe a little, like he's definitely stronger than most of these gods. He's got insane clear, and you can go book Breastplate Genjis and then whatever you want. You know, Pen or Rod or Shabalban Effigy, whatever you really want. Cuckoo aspect, I think, is pretty strong still. Last time I played it, it felt good.
Just a bunch of random.
Yo, Discount Rune, thank you for the primer. Appreciate you for the Bezos bucks. Thank you so much.
What were their IGNs?
All right, back to our tier list. We are
whatever, man. Just keep playing Smite.
halfway through the gods here. Thank you for the follow as well, by the way.
You're so correct. That's Smite.
Loki. Loki's either like, I don't see a ton of him. I think he's probably A+. I would definitely say he's stronger than Wheelix, of course. You don't see him a ton. Is his 1 still bugged? They fixed the bug on his 1, right? There was a bug where his 1 was super duper loud. I think that's patched. He does a ton of damage. Very sneaky character. In ranked, there's not enough communication to track the Loki, so you're able to get more done with the invisibility. Why is a Wheelix so glitchy? The game's in beta. It's not final. But yeah, I think Loki's above the power level of these gods. Not quite S tier, though, in my opinion, because I don't see it a ton. Medusa jungle, I actually think is probably on the same level as like Hu Yi. Borderline Apollo tier, but she's just not as safe. As a jungler, she's very disgusting, though. You have a lot of early pressure. Not much outtrades her in the early game, so you can just force 1v1s and kind of ego walk at whatever you want, and they can't contest you. And just like other hunters, you're bringing in extra DPS to your team late game, which I think is always good. Mercury saw a buff, but I've not seen it played at all. So I think he's still pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know. If I had seen him played, I might be willing to rank him in like A tier, because I don't think his kit is fundamentally bad. You've got good clear, good gank potential with the ult, and your 3. Maybe his damage is just a little lackluster, but I think in lower elo brackets, you can definitely hyper carry with Mercury. He's not as bad as Fenrir, so I'm going to put him in A, even though he's definitely on the weaker side of A. He's on the lower echelon of this tier for sure. You think Merc got better this patch? Yeah, I wouldn't rank him down here. I don't think. All right, Merlin jungle. A lot of people are good at Merlin, but I am not. I just don't have hands on this pick, so I can't rank him very highly. Nobody plays it either. I'm gonna say C tier, even though it's probably closer to like B because he has such great clear and objective shred. Mordred is a very good jungler in my opinion. Like bruisers in this meta are super duper strong. If I have Achilles bruiser in A+, I think that's where I put Mordred as well. He's pretty disgusting. Adding an extra frontline to your team comp, you know, your ult for ganks, very strong as well. Just a really obnoxious character to fight. So I think I would put him, yeah, I would put him above all of these gods. Morgan Le Fay, not really a jungler. Has a lot of CC though, can definitely gank. I think she's B tier. I don't think she's as bad as friggin' Apwash. She's probably on the level of like, you know, your Anubis's or your RDO aspects. She's on a similar power level. You can make it work. It's more for fun. Have you seen the new Kali bug? Sometimes when you try to jump, it just throws you straight up in place and your jump doesn't go on cooldown or do damage. Yeah, I've got that a couple times and it's gotten me killed. It's very frustrating. All right, Neja, this god's bad, but not as bad as Opwash, so we're going to put it in B tier. I think Neja, if you have a Ra on your team or a Cuckoo, you know, you can just play for your mid lane and set up for them. Neja, he does not kill anybody on his own. He does not kill anybody on his own. Don't do enough damage. Terrible god. They should buff him. Neith? Neith's not a jungler. Like, you could. Yeah, she's better than most of the... Like, if I have Izanami and B tier, I gotta put Neith there too, right? She's about as good of a jungler as Izanami. Nemesis. This god's S tier, in my opinion. This god is ridiculously undervalued and underplayed. She wins most 1v1 matchups. And the later you pick it into the draft, the more value you get out of it. Because Nem doesn't really have any bad matchups in the jungle, but you want to pick it into gods that are weak into Nem. Stuff that has a really hard time fighting it. If you pick it early in the draft, they're going to draft a lot of hard CC, stuff that has slow immunity, and you're going to have a harder time playing the game. But 1v1's always good. And, you know, the Prot steal in a tank meta, very valuable. Very valuable ultimate ability. So I think Nem's great. Nuwa, not a jungler. C tier. Actually, I lied. Nuwa's B tier. She can jungle on the same level as Neith. I think Nuwa's... She's got a stun. You could farm well. None of these picks in B are legit, but they can be played. Some of them, like, less so than others, I think. Agni's pretty legit. You know. Take this tier with a grain of salt, to be honest. B tier is a little confusing, I think. Okay, Newt, not playing that in the jungle. Maybe if you're a wizard, you can. I don't think it's a good jungler. We'll put it in C. Odin. You know, you don't see a lot of Odin. However, I think he's pretty disgusting as a bruiser, especially into the right comp if they can't get out of the cage. If they cannot get out of the cage, then... Yeah, he's very valuable. I'm debating between A and A+. I think I'm going to put him in A, just because he's not quite Mordred or Achilles level. I don't see it very much at all, but he's nice with the bruiser build, so I think he's okay. Osiris, you don't see this guy jungle like almost ever. It's either B or C. It's hard to rank, you know, how am I supposed to put anything in C when Opwash is the defining character of the tier? We'll put him in B. He's got good gank potential, pretty solid, clear, and fight early game. I don't think I would ever jungle it though, personally. Pele, this god's good. I'm gonna say Pele is A+. I don't think she's quite S tier. She's not like Nem or Hoonbot's level, but she's definitely stronger than a Wheelix. Definitely stronger than these gods in A. Pele's great, man. Ever since they gave Reaper Flat Pen, Barb Carver is one of the strongest items. So you get Barb Carver and Reaper in your first 2 slots. Ton of lifesteal. Very good early game. She can snowball and carry games on her own. And even, let's say you fall behind, she's still very good at doing her job. You get into the back line, you kill at least one person, or you get a ton of damage off, and then your team wins the fight for you. Poseidon. Poseidon's really strong in the jungle. Every time I played it, it felt amazing, because he's fast, he has really good clear, so you farm very well early. And his gank, you just gank whenever you have your ult up, and you pretty much get a free kill or a free relic. So I think Poseidon's actually a very solid jungler. Not with Aspect. I would go base kit and just build Flint. But I think Poseidon has some potential in this meta as a jungler, for sure. Poseidon OP? Yeah, he's quite good. I agree. Bari, not really a jungler, C tier. Ra, not a jungler, C tier. Rama, you're not jungling it. Not a jungler, C tier. Ratatosker, I think he's kind of on Fenrir's power level, where like you can play it if you're just a rat enjoyer. He's maybe a little stronger than Fenrir. Both of them kind of want a bruiser build, to be honest. I don't think you can go full damage rat. You just don't do enough. You definitely can't go full damage Fenrir. I'm going to say I do think he's stronger than Fenrir, just because he's got a global ult. You know, that's harder to deal with, especially in ranked. He's got a stun. He's definitely, you know, if I've got Merc in A tier, I think I can place Rat here too. Ranked. He's not good, but he's not bad, right? It's not like egregiously terrible. A+ is our, you know, good picks. These are our fine picks. A tier is our fine picks. Scylla, not really a jungler, but you can make it work. She's got pretty good gank. Very slow early game though. Put it in B. Sobek, not a jungler. C tier. Soul, it can jungle. I'll put it in B. I think it's like Izanami. You just farm and split push. Wukong, I've never seen someone jungle this in Smite 2. But I think it can. You've got a stun. You're pretty safe. He's definitely not as bad as any of these gods. So I'd put Sun Wukong in the B for jungle. Susano, this is another god I'm going to put in S tier, which is he's not played as much as he should be. Susano is very underplayed. He does so much damage early game. Very mobile. You got 2 dashes. Your 2 is probably the strongest assassin CC in the game, maybe besides Thorwall. And his ult is a massive AoE knockup that does a ton of damage. So Susano's great. He's counterable, so you kind of want it later into the draft, so you don't just get crippled out. I think Susano's very strong. Susano's hard to play. I don't think he's that difficult. He's hard to pick up if you're new. He's actually kind of Mickey in my opinion. His abilities don't require a lot of aim. Sure, you gotta press your buttons in an order that matters, kinda. And like auto-canceling, I guess. Maybe a lot of people don't know how to play him. But once you do, I don't think he's very hard. Maybe hard to learn, but not... he's got a high skill ceiling, I'll give you that. I think Susano is definitely a skill champ, but... I wouldn't say he's hard to play. People don't know how to play him. People just forget about him? Yeah, could be. Okay, yo, thank you for the follow. Gary, appreciate you.
You're so correct, that's my...
Sylvanas, not a jungler, C tier. With Aspect, you could maybe make it work and bump him up to B, but we're not putting the tree alongside, like, these picks, I don't think. Thanatos. Thanatos is hard for me to rank because I'm terrible at him, so I can't accurately judge his power level based on my play. Because I think he's, like, one of the only assassins I have a negative win rate on. But I believe he's stronger than a Wheelix, honestly. If you're a good Thana, he's got a global ult, farms very well, he's very fast. He's got flat pen in his kit, so he one-taps on a level that other characters really can't. If you 2 and then ult in, land, auto, scythe, auto, 3, they're just dead. Any character in the game is dead, any squishy. Girdly pressure, global ult presence. I think he fits on the same power level as like Loki and Pele, at least if you're able to hit scythe. Morigante. Morrigan, jungle. It's not terrible. I actually am going to rank it A tier. Every time I've played it, it felt good. The only problem with Morrigan jungle is if the enemy guy knows what they're doing, they're going to sprint you down and you're going to have a hard time. But if you think about it, she's got very good clear, like farm potential and great gank because you can turn into whoever you need for the gank. You can just transform into the optimal god for whatever scenario you need. I think Morrigan jungle is pretty good. Go like Worldstone first and then Deso, or maybe Deso Worldstone. And it's pretty solid. Thor, this is another banned assassin. 100% ban worthy. I think Thor might be the most broken god in the game. Or at least the most broken jungler. The range stun is just disgusting. He does an egregious amount of damage. Has no bad matchups. Thor is OP. Ban that god. I'm getting Discord DMs. One sec. Yo, by the way, if you're still watching this YouTube video this deep towards the end of the tier list, please leave a like and subscribe. It helps me a ton and it's completely free to you. If that Discord DM confused you, I'm sorry about that. All right, Sukajomi. Somebody asked me earlier about this god, how I would rank him. I think he's definitely better than Wheelix, so I'm going to put him in A+. You have to have careful positioning on Tsukiyomi, and some matchups are terrible for you. You don't want to play this god into walls. You can't just top pick Psycho Int on it like you could before with the hybrid build. He's a little weaker now ever since they took out the Transcendence book hybrid scaling build. I think now you probably just go full strength because you don't want to lose the stun. If you go Int on Suki, you lose the stun. Aspect Thor is just as good in jungle. Yeah, actually you can play full damage Thor and he's OP, or you can play Aspect Thor and go Bruiser and he's also OP. So, just you got options with this one. He's disgusting. Ullr jungle, I would rank him A+ as well. This is another god that I think is very strong, but I'm just not that good at, so I don't play it a ton. Ullr's just an assassin from ranged. You pop around the corner, stun them, and they get one shot from a distance. He does everything you need a jungler to do, but while having ranged autos. I think Ullr's pretty busted, especially after they added flat pen back. Very, very strong. Anything with a ranged stun is always going to be strong. Especially out of the jungle, because it makes your gank very easy. So Vulcan, moving forward, Vulcan, not a jungler. X-Ball, not a jungler, both in C tier. Xingqian, when I jungled this, it did not feel bad. His clear is pretty ass, but as a bruiser jungle, I think it can be played. You know, you get your one on them, you get E-Staff, you're doing a lot of damage, and you're pretty hard to kill. So I think I'm going to put Xingqian in B tier. I wouldn't play him Aspect. I think he's much better base kit. Yemo, not a jungler, C tier. Ymir, he's actually A tier in my opinion. I think Ymir in the right matchup. For example, you pick Ymir into Tsukiyomi, he's having the worst time of his life. Or like Ymir into, I don't know, any of these gods that really have a hard time dealing with a wall, he's kind of a counter pick in my opinion. And I do think he can jungle. He's very strong damage with the Frostbite autos. I'd probably build Bruiser on him. You could maybe get away with full damage and go like crit or something. But I think that's riskier because you're just going to get blown up. I think Bruiser, Ymir, jungle is probably on the same power level as like Rat or Merc maybe. So we'll put him in A. And last but least, Zeus, not a jungler, C tier. Now, looking back at our list here, if I had to reevaluate any picks, I think Anher's a little bit stronger than when I initially ranked him, at least compared to the other gods in his tier. Anher jungle is disgusting. If you're good on Anher, definitely try that. Then, as far as, honestly, I think everything looks pretty good. Misplaced Zeus. You guys think Zeus jungle is better than C tier? All right, I'll bump it up to B because chat's hating on me. Zeus is A. He's got pretty good clear. He's very unsafe. You're right. He's better than Opwash, so we can bump him up a tier. Anything else you guys disagree with before I end the video? Yo, what's up, Slifer? Good morning. Cab's B2? Actually, yeah, I meant to move him up. Yeah, Cab can be bump up. He's got good CC. Other than that, I think we've got a pretty solid tier list here. Is there a way I can, like, publish it? Oh, here we go. Publish tier list. And then we should be able to see the full thing, like, as a cohesive... Yes, here we go. So, this is my jungle tier list for Open Beta 40. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and share. Let me know in the comments if you disagree with any of my rankings. Come follow my Twitch. We're live Monday through Friday, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will see you there. And that's it. Thanks for watching. See ya.